Hey everyone, Blaine with Seven Sons. Today we're kicking off a series of multiple videos where we're going to go behind the scenes and tell you and show you how we raise our livestock at Seven Sons. And then for each of the livestock enterprises that we talk about in this video series, I'm going to share some really interesting information that you've probably never heard before. And our goal is that our customers, that you remain informed and educated about purchasing the highest quality pasture-raised meat products and proteins for your family. All right, these are some very happy cows here at Seven Sons. We're looking at a herd of 160 head of cattle that we're finishing on grass. We're rotating them throughout the 550 acres of pasture land that we have here at Seven Sons. These animals are always getting access to fresh, clean drinking water. We've installed miles and miles of water line here on the farm to ensure that we can rotate the cattle, keep the pasture healthy throughout the grazing season. In the wintertime, a lot of people ask, well, what do you do with your grass-fed animals in the winter? Well, a lot of these animals will already be harvested by the time winter rolls around. But the animals that are still here, what we'll do is we'll let the grasses grow up tall during the fall so that we can do winter grazing. As long as there's not a whole lot of ice pack on the ground, they can graze throughout the winter. We'll also bring hay that we make for the cattle. During the spring, we'll make, when we have excess grass growth, we'll make hay, and we'll bring that out to the cattle. The cattle also always have with them minerals that they have free choice to. And then in the winter time, we'll also give them some apple cider vinegar mixed with a little bit of molasses, which really helps them with gut health and just keeps them healthier even in the winter time. So these animals are raised without giving any antibiotics and obviously no growth hormones. Our goal is just to let these animals live the way they would if they were in the wild, and that results in healthy animals, a healthy ecosystem on the farm, and we believe the healthiest product for you too. Okay, so I'm going to share with you several facts that you probably haven't heard about, and this pertains when you're shopping for grass-fed beef. How do you know you're really getting what you're paying for? Grass-fed beef is becoming very popular. Matter of fact, it's the fastest growing segment within the beef industry. Matter of fact, from 2012 to 2016, grass-fed beef sales increased here in the U.S. over 1,600%. So folks, there is a lot of large-scale operations now getting into the business, trying to do this at scale. And that's not all a bad thing, but folks, the marketplace is starting to get really confusing to understand if you're really getting grass-fed beef or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share with you a couple very critical questions that you will want to ask and get to the bottom of when you're purchasing grass-fed beef. Okay, the first question you want to ask is, when you're buying grass-fed beef, have the animals been fed grain byproducts? And folks, that's a really critical question because, believe it or not, according to USDA labeling regulations, cattle can be fed grain byproducts. So think of soy hulls or peanut hulls or distillers byproducts that comes out of the ethanol plants. Cattle can be fed a full diet of grain byproducts, which means they can be put in a feedlot. They can put grain byproducts in the bunkers, and as long as these cattle have access to run out in the pasture, even if their diet is 90% grain byproducts, get this folks, you can still legally label the product as 100% grass-fed. And folks, there is a lot of beef labeled 100% grass-fed that have been fed grain byproducts. So that's just something you'll want to know. You'll want to ask, have the animals been fed grain byproducts? And most of the time, if you're trying to buy beef in the supermarket, many times the folks on the supermarket level just wouldn't know, or they wouldn't be able to verify. So the best bet is to get to the farm where you're wanting to purchase your grass-fed beef, visit it and ask that question. Are you feeding any grain byproducts? So there's a big loophole when it comes to labeling beef that the USDA allows for. Okay, so when purchasing grass-fed beef, the next question that you will want to ask is, where were the cattle raised? Believe it or not, out of the $4 billion worth of grass-fed beef sold in the U.S., over 75 to 80% of those sales come from beef that's been imported into the U.S. Now, where this gets really confusing is that at the store level, the USDA allows imported grass-fed beef product to be labeled as product of the USA. So it gets super confusing. Some companies will actually tell you that the beef was imported, but a lot of them just leave it up for you to figure out, and a lot of it is just labeled as product of the USA, even if it's been imported. So that's just something to keep in mind when looking to purchase grass-fed beef. And again, the surest way to get the answer to those questions is just to come visit the farm where you're purchasing your beef from, and that's why we offer farm tours available throughout the growing season here at Seven Sons. Hope you enjoyed the video, and like and subscribe and share with your friends.